Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. First of all, I would like to say that I love GTA 5 and I've been playing this game since release day. If I didn't like GTA 5, I wouldn't have played it for this long and I definitely wouldn't be making YouTube videos on it. Let's remember that criticism isn't complaining. They are two different things. So with that said, let's go over why I think Grand Theft Auto 5's gameplay was a downgrade from previous games. I'm going to start by quickly going through some smaller points before going over to what I feel is the biggest issue with the gameplay. Starting easy, the physics were a pretty significant downgrade from GTA 4. Both ragdoll and vehicle physics took a hit. Cars have an unbelievably low center of gravity, meaning it's really hard to tip a car over. And they generally have more grip on the road. The more arcadey driving mechanics are good and they are fun to play around with, but the driving almost feels too easy compared to GTA 4 and to an extent San Andreas. Vehicle destruction was also downgraded as it was too taxing on the original hardware, something I hope can be rectified in the next game. The physics and the ragdoll also tie into combat. In GTA 4, if somebody is shot, they will stumble and hold on to where they get shot, a lot of the time staying on their feet. In GTA 5, NPCs seem to stiffen up when they're shot, and most of them are extremely weak, usually dying after one or two shots. Some enemies are just bullet sponges and can take a stupid amount of bullets to kill, especially in online, but we're not really talking about that here. Speaking of combat, the gunplay was also simplified, and inherited the targeting system as well as some other mechanics from Max Payne 3, a title that was in development at the same time as Grand Theft Auto 5. GTA 4 has an aiming reticle that's locked to the target, but could freely move around the target for more specific shots. That reticle also contained a discrete health bar for your enemy that was anything but immersion breaking. It was a great way to implement a health bar. I do have to admit, GTA 5's gunplay is easier to understand. It's as easy as point and click, and it has much better movement while shooting than any other Grand Theft Auto game to date, very similar to Max Payne 3's system. However, in 5 you don't really feel the weight of bullet impacts on your target, and it makes the gunplay in the game feel a little shallow to me. For whatever reason, it just doesn't feel as engaging. The police were also changed quite drastically. When you're wanted in GTA 4, the police have a specific search radius that they'll operate in, and this radius gets bigger and bigger the higher the wanted level. It can even get so big that it nearly engulfs a large portion of whatever island you're on. GTA 5 has a line of sight system, meaning that there are no specific search radiuses. However, police have cones of vision that you have to stay out of in order to lose them. The police always seem to know exactly where you are though, even when they should have no idea. They will still drive to wherever crevice you're hiding in, get out of their car and search the area as if they know you'll be there, instead of just driving past and continuing on their search. I do like how, once you reach the highest wanted level in 5, you won't find many civilian cars on the road at all, as it will be mainly just police. I do also think that having the army in the game but not having them as a response for a 5 or 6 star wanted level is a huge missed opportunity, because that would have been great fun. I do know it was in previous GTA games though, because just off the top of my head I remember fighting tanks in a tank in GTA Vice City, and that was a fun time. I would just like a little more variety in my police response. For example, in GTA 4, if you're in the city and you hit a high enough wanted level, there will be police snipers perched on the top of buildings sniping down at you, and they have very, very good aim. That paired with the fact that you can get the noose after you in that game, as well as the FIB, you'll even get US immigration officers come after you. I think it's something to think about because I know for a fact that the police system is going to be changing in GTA 6, as it has changed in pretty much every game so far, and there may have been certain leaks that held certain information about the police that I will not discuss. Wink wink, nudge nudge. There are a decent amount of hobbies and pastimes in GTA 5 as well, but they don't really relate to the story or even to the characters at all. You've got tennis and golf, which are new to Grand Theft Auto, but are pretty bland, to be honest. Darts makes a return from GTA 4, and it is exactly the same minigame, no changes whatsoever. Even the dartboard used for GTA 4 was reused for GTA 5 without any touch-ups, which I don't think is a bad thing, I just think it's a fun fact. The problem here is that the friend system from GTA 4 was heavily downgraded for 5. There were only a few people that you could hang out with, and your options were rather limited for what you could go and do and where you could go. And you don't really have any incentive to go and hang out with your friends, because there aren't any friendship rewards like in GTA 4. The worst part is that you usually won't have the choice between those 6 activities because not all of the friends are going to want to go there, limiting your options even further. Franklin, for example, won't do tennis. Jimmy DeSanto won't play golf at all, and only Franklin can take him to the strip club or to a bar. That leaves your hangout options somewhat limited. One addition to GTA 5 that I really did enjoy and I appreciated very much was the flight school. Returning from San Andreas with a very similar presentation, the flight school is great fun, but it's also essential to progressing the story. A little fun fact for you, the San Andreas flight school in GTA 5 was founded in 2004, which is when GTA San Andreas first released. I would like to end this video with perhaps my most controversial take, one that actually got me writing this video in the first place, and that's the three protagonists. To be completely fair, Rockstar did an excellent job integrating three protagonists into a larger interwoven story, and the story that was being told would not have been possible with just one protagonist. However, splitting up the story and the gameplay between these three characters was, in my opinion, detrimental to the storytelling experience and subsequently the gameplay experience, and allow me to tell you why. When I play a single player game, I like to view my character as an extension of myself. I like to put myself in the character's shoes, and that not only informs how I experience the story, but also the world and the game itself. When I'm playing as Niko Bellic in GTA 4, I'm connected to his experience. I can feel Liberty City pushing back on me whenever something happens to Niko or one of his friends. For example, when Roman's apartment burned down. I feel like it's happening to me, because his perspective is my perspective, and that doesn't change. It's probably the most important element of any video game story, and that really informs how much you believe this world and the story it's trying to tell. With GTA 5, the story and the gameplay had to be shared between three separate protagonists. Michael is the guy that has done this all before, but can't help himself but to come back and do it again, much like your average Grand Theft Auto fan. He's very much stuck in the past. Whether that's thinking about his glory days or watching some old movies, Michael is stuck in a self-destructive cycle. Franklin is your typical by-the-numbers, young blood GTA protagonist that wants it better than he's got. Typical rags to riches kind of stuff. He's the only character really grounded in the reality that he's in, and is probably the most normal person you will find in the state of San Andreas. Surrounded by idiots, Franklin just wants more for himself, and is disillusioned with gang life. And then there's Trevor, a drugged-out lunatic who feels no remorse for anything that he does. And that's pretty much all there is to Trevor. Each of these characters have a special ability. Michael has bullet time, Franklin has bullet time but for driving, and Trevor has a rage mode that prevents him from taking damage. I can honestly tell you that I never used Trevor's ability by choice, because A, I thought it made the game too easy, and B, I didn't really think it added much to the gameplay experience. Michael having bullet time is fine, but again it just makes the gameplay too easy in my opinion. Franklin is the only one that I can give a pass because his special ability is actually fun, and something that you can use pretty much any time, especially in free roam. Honestly though, I would have preferred if nobody had a special ability. It wouldn't make any difference to the missions in the game, and it might make the characters just a little bit more believable when you're playing them. By dividing player attention between these three, you have less of an opportunity to connect with the characters on a deeper level. Trevor is a character that you just can't connect to in any meaningful way. He's designed to be a vehicle of chaos, not deep and meaningful storytelling. What exactly does this have to do with gameplay, Glack? Well, when you can connect with a character, it's infinitely easier to connect with the world and the story that the game is trying to tell you. None of the characters ever really feel like your own, and it honestly makes the game feel a little more shallow than its counterparts. It honestly, for me, makes the story less engaging, and the characters less relatable, which means that I'm overall less interested in what I'm doing. This is what I believe to be the biggest downgrade in GTA 5. I think the novelty of switching between three very different characters wore off after maybe the first playthrough. I've never been able to connect and fully empathize with the characters in this game, and I personally feel that's because there are too many. So if I had to say exactly how I feel about GTA 5's gameplay, it would be shallow. As wide as an ocean, as deep as a puddle. I honestly believe that Rockstar wanted to do a lot more with GTA 5. We already know that there was a lot of cut content from that game. I don't really think that GTA 5 offers enough incentive for you to hang out and enjoy the open world outside of missions. I don't feel compelled to go to the shooting range, or to play tennis, or to hang out with my friends. Frankly, I don't have much incentive to go out and explore and make my own fun. I still to this day love to play GTA 4 and San Andreas for the fun factor, because I enjoy exploring those worlds and engaging with the activities that the game offers. Those games also just feel a lot more varied than GTA 5 for some reason, and I can't quite put my finger on what it is exactly. GTA 6 is going to be doing one of these things. I actually think two protagonists is the way to go for Grand Theft Auto. I can see myself actually having emotional investment in these characters. Rockstar obviously learned a lot from Grand Theft Auto 5, and they're going to be putting all of that into GTA 6. The two protagonists instead of 3 or 1, like I said, I think that's actually probably the best way to go for Grand Theft Auto 6. You still get a little bit of variety in the gameplay, yet I don't think they're really going to be morally that far apart. Franklin and Trevor I could put on opposite ends of the spectrum, right? But Jason and Lucia seem like they're going to be very tight-knit. So I feel like some of the problems that GTA 5 has had in terms of sharing gameplay and screen time between 3 separate characters, I think GTA 6 will do a lot better with 2, because a 2-person dynamic is something that Rockstar does very well. For example, even though he's not a playable character, Nico and Roman have a very good relationship, and I care about Roman and what he's going through, and his wife, and his baby that's on the way, as well as his debts. That is the kind of character connection that I want. I realise this may seem like I've spiraled off into talking about story, but really this is all about the gameplay, and how the game feels to play. I really do think that the 3 protagonists did not help with immersion. But that is just my opinion, and I still love Grand Theft Auto 5, and I'm still playing it to this day. I obviously can't wait for the next one, and if all of this stuff can get fixed, which I believe it will, then I think we're going to be golden. Thank you all for watching. I understand this is kind of a ramble for me. If you haven't already, click on one of these videos to see what I've been up to. If you haven't seen my newest video, The Maps of Grand Theft Auto, Vice City 1986, where we take a look at Vice City, its various locations, interiors, and its art design. It's a great video, and it's a fun way to prepare for GTA 6, just to take a look back at the old Vice City. Thanks again for watching. I will see you all in the next one. Take it sleazy.